Let's add some text. From the toolbar, select the text tool, or you can simply press T. There are two ways you can add text. You can either simply click anywhere you want to add the text, and then you can start typing. You could also draw a text box, so let's hit T again, and I'm going to draw a text box, and I can now add the text here. It doesn't matter which approach you're going to use because you can always change it via the text menu, which is what we're going to get to know now. So I'm going to keep both of them. This is going to be my headline, and I'm going to keep this one and just copy in some more dummy text, and we can use it as a copy. I can open a text box larger simply by holding down my mouse key and dragging it. So first of all, I want both of them to have the same typeface. So I select both, and via the menu, I'm going to select a typeface. You can see that all Google fonts are pre-installed if you're using the Figma app. Also, any fonts that you have locally on your computer are going to show up here. I'm going to go for a Google font called Poppins. Now, before I go to change the size and the width, you can see that this is a little bit all over the place. So let's tidy this up. I'm first going to go for what's going to be my headline, and I'm going to set this to auto width. So that means that the text box is always going to adjust to anything that I add in here in width. My copy text, I'm going to set to fixed width and auto height. So that means that it's going to take the full height in, and whatever I add, it's going to adjust to this height. The last one here is fixed height and fixed width, and to be honest, I hardly ever use this. Let's select our shapes, pull them down and make some more space. So now I want to change the weight. I can do this with the second drop down, and I'm going to have my headline in bold, and I'm going to leave my copy text in regular. So obviously I want my headline to be larger, so I can do this with the text size here. You can either type any number, or you can also use your arrow keys on the keyboard to go up and down. Again, if you have Shift pressed, then you're going to jump in your nudge amount. So I'm going to have a big hello on the top here. Now my copy text, I'm going to have this box even larger. I'm going to keep at 16, which is sort of the standard size for copy text. The next one here is the line height. This is a really important one. The line height is, we can see this better at our headline, this little space at the top and the bottom of your text. So this is like a natural gap that we're creating. Always leave that at least at auto, which corresponds to 1.5. Or you could even go higher and set it to 1.7. You can calculate this. So you could say 16 is my text size. And now I am multiplying this by 1.75, and therefore it would give me the pixel value of 28. You could also use a percentage notation, so I have 175%. If this is all new to you, then just leave it at auto for now, which is giving you a really good line height. Whatever you do, don't set it to the same size as your text or even smaller, because what would happen is that you would lose the line height, which might be okay on a one-line headline, but in your copy text, or as soon as something is like changed, like the text box changes as the browser window changes, then text is going to be squished together, and we don't want that. The alignment is left, center, or right, so pretty standard. And this little tool here means that if you add more text, which direction it's going to grow to. So the default we have it on means that if I copy more text, let's just add more text in here, it will just be added to the bottom. Now, if you had this set to center, then what would happen is that this would grow from the center. And obviously the same, if you had it set to the bottom, it will grow upwards. You can also open the extended menu, and then here you find more alignment option. Please never use text align justified. I don't even know why it still exists, to be honest. The ones you're probably going to use more is like underline and things like that, cases, and you find more advanced things like vertical trim, paragraph styling, and in details, even more things like certain indents, or if you have specific number positions and things like that. But most of the time, the standard menu will be just fine. Just as any other object, you can select text and you can align it. And any change in color, you would use the fill menu. And by the way, in Figma and UI design in general, text always has its own box. So a headline has an own box and the copy text has its own box. You could technically have this headline inside the same box, but it's not how we set up UI design.